Hello everybody and welcome back to my channel. In today's video we are doing another beauty rewind of miscellaneous makeup items. So if that's something that you're interested in hearing about, then make sure you keep on watching, and also don't forget to subscribe to my channel so you don't miss any of my upcoming videos. In my opinion, miscellaneous makeup items are probably the most important ones that can either make or break a look. Today I have compiled a compendium of eyeliners, mascaras, primers, brow products, and some makeup tools that can take your makeup from a very basic look to something spectacular. I am going to be taking you through the good, the bad, and the ugly, but be warned, most of the products that I'm going to be talking about today are actually pretty great. In 2019, I made it a point to only buy products that I am going to absolutely love. I didn't really want to have a lot of duds in my collection just because makeup costs a lot of money and I don't want to be wasteful anymore. Having said that, there are some items that didn't end up working for me this past year, and I am definitely going to dish the dirt on those. Just before I dive into all of the items that I'm going to be talking about, I do want to put a disclaimer on this video the same way I've put a disclaimer on most of my beauty rewind videos, to basically say what may work for me may not necessarily work for you. So take everything I say with a grain of salt. Makeup is extremely personal, and products that I might love you might hate, and vice versa, and that's perfectly okay. For me, the most important part of these beauty rewind videos is to create an encyclopedia of stuff that works and stuff that doesn't, and I definitely want to get a conversation going in the comment section, so be sure to leave all of your thoughts down below. I think I'm going to start off with eyeliners first, and I'm going to try to limit everything that I'm going to be talking about to 2019 launches only, but I might slip a couple of products in there that might be a little bit older, but I won't spend as much time talking about them. And the first item that I have to talk about as being one of the best eyeliners I have ever used in my entire life is this right here from Tom Ford. This is the eye defining pen. It is a holy grail in my makeup collection. It also costs a lot of money, but I find I get my money's worth with this product. It is a dual-ended eyeliner brush, and yes, it's a brush tip applicator, which is certainly my preference when it comes to eyeliners. I love how pigmented this is when it goes on. It's very easy to apply your eyeliner and to even do a wing liner. This is such a wonderful tool. I recommend it to everybody. Another liner that I ended up really enjoying that launched in 2019 comes from Haus Laboratories. This is Lady Gaga's makeup brand. This is the liquid Eye-lie-ner, and it's got dashes in between. And this is in the shade Punk. It is supposed to be matter than matte according to the description, and this here is a felt tip applicator. I really like how flexible the felt tip applicator is, so if you want to get right into the inner corner of your eye, you are very easily able to do that. This is a very pigmented eyeliner. It is a matte black, which I certainly appreciate. I like the packaging. I think it is very sleek. The only complaint I have about this liner is that the tip does tend to dry out really quickly. So be wary of that. If you are going to be doing a lot of precision or detail work, I'd probably say switch to a different eyeliner. This is probably good to sort of lay down a base, but if you're doing any filling in of wings or whatever it is you're doing on your eyes, I'd probably switch to a brush tip applicator like the Tom Ford one. But I certainly love this for its value. I think it is priced very reasonably, and it's a liner that I always turn to. The next eyeliner I'm going to talk about comes from the Sephora collection. It is the Sephora Hot Line Eyeliner. It is a liquid liner with a brush tip applicator, and I have often compared this to the Tom Ford Eye Defining Pen. I think it is a great dupe. It's priced very reasonably. The application of liner is very easy, and I just think it's an overall great product. Another eyeliner that I discovered this past year, and I actually ended up finding it at Winners for $5.99. I think it's actually been discontinued by the brand, but I am so happy I got my hands on these. It is these little gel pot liners from Shiseido. These are the Inkstroke eyeliners, and I love these. They have such a unique gel formula that glides on so easily. They each come with their own brush tip applicator. So if you have an issue with the transferring of your eyeliner or smudging, use this product and I kid you not, it will not budge until you choose to take it off. The other eyeliners that were shockingly incredible to me are these here from KKW Beauty. They were a part of the So Fire collection that Kim Kardashian released not that long ago. There were 3 eyeliners that came in the collection. I got all 3. There's a gold, a copper, and a bronze, and these eyeliners glide on beautifully. I use these a lot when I'm doing my lower lash line. So in lieu of eyeshadow on my lower lash line, I actually use these cream pencils instead, and it glides on beautifully, it doesn't budge, and I have 0 issues with buffing and blending it out. They do have more of a metallic formula, which I actually like because it makes my lower lash line pop out a little bit more. I can't speak highly enough of these. Again, if you can get your hands on them, I recommend them. And the last eyeliners that I am going to talk about that are going to go in my not so loved category are these here from ColourPop. These are their cream gel liners, and I do have a good reason for putting them in my not so loved category. It's because these dry out really quickly. I don't think they're made very well either, because every single time I try to use this product, it actually ends up falling out of my my retractable pencil here, which is quite annoying. I've had to throw out 2 liners so far, a black one and a brown one, because it kept breaking, it kept drying up, falling out of the applicator. I was just so irritated. And the other reason I am throwing these in my not so loved category is that they don't stay put in my waterline. I know some people absolutely adore these eyeliners, and if you do, I am very happy that they work for you. I do love the color range that they offer, so if you are looking for very unique pops of color, I think ColourPop is the way to go. Unfortunately, I won't be repurchasing these in the future. Let's move right along to eye primer, which I think is a very important component of creating a great eye look. You definitely want something that you can lay down that is going to act as a really nice tacky base, and so that your shadow does not budge throughout the day. And the first product I have to put in my best of category is this here from CoverGirl. This is the Lid Lockup Eye Primer, and I kid you not, this probably rivals most of the high-end eye primers that I have used. I think it is spectacular at creating a very nice sticky base, and anytime I have worn this, my eyeshadow has not budged and it has not let me down. The last eye primer I'm gonna put in my best of and maybe not so loved category is actually this one here from Anastasia Beverly Hills. It is the eye primer that they released this past year, and I like it for the fact that it gives you a really nice concealed looking base. So if you have veiny eyes or discoloration on your lids, this evens everything out beautifully so your eyeshadow can lay on top nicely. But I think the packaging has a bit of an issue, because every time I open this up, product just starts seeping out, and that is really annoying to me, and that's why it's not so loved. I would never purchase a full size of this eye primer simply because you're never gonna go through it. It's likely to expire before you even get a quarter of the way through it. You need very little of this product, so I highly recommend picking up the mini version or maybe getting yourself a deluxe sample size whenever Sephora offers it as a reward. That's probably your best bet. We're gonna move right along to mascara, and one of the best mascaras that I have used in 2019 comes from IT Cosmetics, and this is the Lash Blowout Mascara. I have really enjoyed the formulation of this. I love how it coats my lashes, makes them look really thick. It does add a little bit of a length as well. I do like the applicator of this. I think it is fluffy enough, yet precise enough that you don't get mascara all over your eyes. So for me, this is definitely a winner. The mascara does not flake, it does not budge, it just gives you really great even coverage without making your lashes look spidery. And all of those great qualities are what I end up looking for when I purchase a new mascara. And I think all of those great qualities can apply to this one here from JCat Beauty. This is the Lengthening Mascara, and I did discover this past year. I really love the applicator of this mascara. As you can see, it is quite thin and it's got a slight hourglass shape to it, very, very slight. This is really great for your lower lash line if you really want to get in there without smudging it underneath your eye. I think this gives you really great precision and it's such a good formula. Highly recommend. A great waterproof mascara that I discovered this past year is this one here from Shiseido. This is the Full Lash Multi-Dimensional Mascara, and when you shove this sucker on, it does not budge, my friends. The wand is quite precise. It is rounded out along the center, and then it's got finer points on either end, so this is really good for coating your lashes and getting right there into the inner corner and even on your lower lashes. I got mine in the shade brown. I actually didn't want to pick up a black mascara because I wanted something that can really work for me on the everyday. If I'm going to work and I quickly need to slap something on, this is the mascara I go for. And man, it coats your lashes beautifully. And this mascara, I mean, you could probably stand in a hurricane and wait for your makeup to just slide off. Everything else might slide off, but your mascara won't budge. That's how good this formula is. We're now going to move on to the mascaras that just did not make the cut for me this past year. And the first mascara I'm going to talk about is this one here from Benefit Cosmetics. This is the Bad Gal Bang Mascara. There was this huge launch and massive promotion that they ended up doing for this product, and I fell into the hype, although I did not purchase any of the full sizes. I actually waited until Sephora had this on as a reward, and that's how I got my hands on it. And this applicator here is extremely spiky, and that's why I don't really like this mascara. I tend to poke myself in the eye with it. It's a little uncomfortable to coat your lashes with, and I just find the formulation doesn't hold up throughout the day the way my great mascaras do. So for me, this was a disappointment this year. And the other not so great mascara for me is this one here from Pat McGrath. This is the FetishEyes mascara. Again, I got this as a 100 point perk from Sephora. I didn't really want to spend the money on a high-end mascara, especially one that runs for as much as the Pat McGrath one does. This is a very fat applicator, which can be really great if you're looking to coat all of your lashes. I just find this wand gets everywhere. There is no way that I can use this on my eyes without getting it all over my hard work and my eyeshadow, and then I have to spend a few minutes just trying to scrub that off with a Q-tip, which is really annoying. You certainly cannot use this for your lash line unless you are a miracle worker. I always mess up my lower lash line if I'm going in with this mascara. I also do not like the scent of this. It is very heavily fragranced with a sharp rose scent. Like, I can smell it right now and oh god, that is obnoxious. It is not pretty. So for me, this was also a disappointment. Next up, we're gonna talk about brow products. The first amazing brow product that I'm gonna talk about is this one here from IT Cosmetics. Yes, this is the mini version. This is the Brow Power. And I recognize that this did not launch in 2019. I think this is an older product, but I only discovered it this past year. And I am so happy I did, because it is such a wonderful product. It is very, very similar to the Anastasia Brow Definer in terms of shape and formulation. I find it incredibly easy to apply. It gives your brows really nice coverage, but it's not going to give you super precision. So if you like to paint on brow hairs, this is not the product for you. But if you do like blocking out your brows a little bit more, then this is certainly going to serve you really really well. If I'm being entirely honest with you, there is one downside to the brow power, and that is it only comes in one color, and that's universal taupe. So it may work for some people, it may not work for others. I'm lucky enough that it works for me, and for those days where I do want to go in with a slightly lighter brow, I'll just use a little bit of pressure and just get a lighter color. And for other days when I want to go a little bit more bold, I just apply a little more pressure and the pencil is a little bit darker. It works for me. It might not work for others, but I am certainly obsessed with this pencil. The other brow product that I discovered this past year that I have kind of had a love-hate relationship with, but I think I like more than I hate, is this here from Benefit Cosmetics. This is the Brow Styler, and I like it because it has a powder product, which is one of my preferences actually, contrary to the products that I've already talked about, to use in my brows because it doesn't tug them out, and I don't think you lose brow hairs as quickly if you use a powder as opposed to a cream, gel, or pomade. The only downside to the powder is the applicator. It is a very small doe foot, and sometimes you don't get the best precision with it, but you learn how to make it work. You just got to play around with it a little bit more and get a really good feel for it. The side that I'm still a little bit torn about, but I think I'm starting to like, is the wax pencil side. And I like this for the precision that it can offer. So the powder doesn't give you precision, but the pencil side does. And it's really great at creating brow hair strokes. You can get in there, fill in your brows really quickly, and this formulation will not budge. You can slap it on at 6 a.m. and it can take you all the way through until 6 a.m. the next day if you want. That's how strong this formula is. And the last miscellaneous makeup items that I'm going to be talking about are makeup tools, in particular brushes, because I love working with makeup brushes. I want to highlight a couple of them, not my whole collection because that would take me forever. I am going to start off with these Smashbox Eye Brushes. They have been so good to me. I love their handles. They're very sturdy. They wash extremely well, and I love how soft the actual brush head is. These are really great for precision work or for blending work. I highly recommend them, and they haven't disappointed me. My favorite brushes, however, are these here from Wayne Goss. I know they didn't release this past year. They released maybe a few years ago now, but these have been such a staple in my makeup collection because generally speaking, anytime I'm doing an eye look, I'm using my Wayne Goss brushes. They have never let me down. I love that they're all handmade. I also love that the brush handle is actually a little bit shorter. So for those of us who wear glasses and are blind and we have to stick our faces right in the mirror, I can get in there nice and close and not have to worry about the handle bumping into the mirror itself. These are such great tools, and I don't know what I would do without them. Right next to my Wayne Goss brushes, I have to put my Hakuhodo brushes. I did discover these this past year. Actually, I picked these two up when I was at IMATS in September in Toronto, and these have not let me down. They are almost identical in construction to the Wayne Goss brushes, but I think they're at a slightly more affordable price point depending on the type of brush that you're going to be going for. I got two really useful blending brushes, and these have been wonderful for blowing out eyeshadow in my crease. I cannot live without them. Highly recommend. The other makeup brushes that I would recommend without hesitation come from Makeup Forever. These are the brushes that are tried and true, and I think almost every single makeup artist has the full collection in their kit. I don't have a bunch of them, but I do have more of the precision tools. I did grab a blending brush this year from IMATS, but I have had this shader brush for a while in my collection, and I find it is perfect for doing a cut crease if I'm using concealer. It is such a precise, pointy tip that it makes it really easy to carve out my shadow. I love this brush so much. And then these detail brushes over here are perfect for getting pigment in all the right places on your eyes and for also blending that pigment out. I also like these smaller tools for blending out my lower lash line. These brushes are just so well made. They've never let me down. They wash really well, and they're just solid products. For face brushes, I only have two that I'm going to talk about because these are the only two that I discovered this past year. The first is this one here from Real Techniques. This is the blush brush. That's all it says. It's got a bright pink handle on it and a very fluffy applicator. This is wonderful for adding color to your cheeks. It's so soft, it washes well. It's just a very well-made brush. I love it. And the other face brush is this one here from Marc Jacobs. This is the bronze brush. That's all it says, the bronze. And I actually discovered this in Winners. I was able to buy it for $29.99, which is a fraction of what this costs at Sephora. I believe at Sephora Canada this was retailing at one point for about $90, maybe a little bit more. It was super expensive. So obviously when I was able to get it at a discount, I was thrilled, and I love this for applying bronzer. It is a very densely packed brush, but it is so soft. I love that it sort of comes to a point so you can really get in there to your cheeks and even contour with it, and that's what I end up doing with my bronzer. I love to blow out my bronzer by using circular motions, adding it everywhere it needs to go on my face. It's just a great brush. Again, very well made. I don't find the hairs fall off on this. It washes really well. Just solid. And that brings us to the end of this best of and worst of miscellaneous makeup video. Don't forget to let me know what some of your best and worst makeup products were of this past year in the comment section. I'd love to hear your thoughts. And of course, that's gonna do it for this video. Thank you guys so much for watching. Before you click out of this video, you know the drill. Give it a big thumbs up and also subscribe to my channel so you don't miss any of my upcoming videos. If you want to keep up with me outside of YouTube, you are more than welcome to do that by following me on all of my social media, which I'm going to link for you in the description box below. Thank you again so much for watching. I hope you are all having an amazing day, no matter where you are in the world. Stay beautiful, and I'll see you guys in my next video. Bye!